Hello, welcome to Walking Down That Aisle. Welcome to my Solocast. I hope that any of my Facebook friends that get that invite will come on here on the chat and say something or respond to my message here if they see it. Okay. I had to focus on what I was saying because if I don't, I lose track of what I'm typing and everything. Okay. I do love to use special effects, but I think that's against Spreaker's policy, so I just decided to pre-record, and then add it just like that last time. So if y'all are wondering why y'all didn't hear an introductory video that ties in walking down that aisle, it's because I think the last time I did that, I think they took the episode off because it went against the policy. So now that I said that, and I know that it was just on the air, but in case some people heard it yesterday, and wondered why I redid it, that's why. It's because I had gotten an email that they took it off because it went against their policy. And I didn't realize what they meant until I realized, they probably mean that the audio I uploaded was considered music, so to speak. So that's why I didn't press play again. I didn't want to risk getting in trouble. So if y'all did hear any of my episode yesterday, my name is Daniel Van. But I decided to use a stage name, and I changed it to Johnny Mac. And the story for that is, excuse me. Story for that is actually easy to explain. I had great-grandmother, last name of Macaulay, and her husband's name, my great-grandfather, was Johnny. And I decided to put them together. And my mom heard it. She liked it, and she said, Johnny Mac. And I said, that's it. Shorten it to Johnny Mac. That's where this name Johnny Mac comes from. Comes from my great-grandparents. Now, because this is Spreaker, this isn't YouTube, this isn't a live video like Graham Wardle started doing. So on the Graham Wardle, the host of the Time Has Come podcast, started doing video podcasts on YouTube, where he interviewed some of his two of his friends from the show he used to be on, Heartland. Carrie James and Amber Marshall were on there 2 or 3 times. And a Solocast was I actually believe he coined that, because I had never heard anybody else do that before, and never heard anybody else say that before. So a Solocast was a couple of times he used that when he didn't have a guest, so he used that format where he just spoke from his heart, and that's what I'm doing here. So I really lost track the past 2 years. I've really lost track of the timeline I spoke about, so instead of going backward, I just thought I would go to, instead of rewatching the old shows, I thought I would look at reliving the ratings war between WCW and Raw, or should I say Nitro and Raw, because there's somebody who actually has that on YouTube somewhere. So I thought I would look that up, because somewhere along the line I forgot that I actually wanted to do a comparison podcast, and that's what I'm going to do on here when I don't really, like, for instance, on a Saturday, when I don't really have a topic to go off of. I'll be talking about Raw versus Nitro and do a comparison, and I know that it might be aggravating to some people, but I thought I would do that because it helps me remember all the things I spoke about. And I hope y'all enjoy the comparison, because it's really the only thing different about it is that I do a comparison between the two, which is really all I've ever wanted to do, was a comparison. But I did not have anything to go off of, but now that I do, I get to do what I've always wanted to do. So I hope y'all enjoy that, even if I have to do it in increments instead of one episode. I hope y'all enjoy it. And even though I don't think I can become a ring announcer, as I think there's too much risk in standing in the ring if you don't know how to fall in the ring. So I don't think I can be a ring announcer or train to be a ring announcer, but I can do ring introductions for fun on my podcast. So that's what walking down that aisle is about. Now what I can do is become a commentator, and that is actually why I created the name Johnny Mac in the first place. I thought, well, since I'm really serious about trying this, might as well get a stage name. I know that I could use my given name, but if you go as far as you hope to go in this business, sooner or later, you're going to have to change it. I don't want to go through all that red tape, and I don't want to wait forever for somebody who uses the last name of Daniels already. I don't want to wait forever for him to respond, so I did use a name that that I know of has used before. So from now on, I'm going to be calling myself Johnny Mac on here. And on YouTube, when I do a video like this on YouTube, I'll be letting y'all see on my video what Johnny Mac is really about. But I'm not going to say anything on here because I want it to be a surprise. Okay, let me see if anybody has responded. Okay, nobody responded yet, but that's okay. Okay, I got 6 minutes and 8 seconds here. So I'll just continue to talk and just be honest. I've thought about talking about title designs, because championship belts have always been my favorite thing about wrestling. Second to the actual in-ring part. I thought about talking about the designs, but I never really knew how to talk about them. But what I can talk about is how the old school way they make the belts, like that back part of the belt that you see when somebody walks to the ring on their back, the only part that you see in the back, that straps. What I can talk about is how the old school presentation of the way they made it in the old days, I liked better, because you can see it literally getting strapped, whereas Velcro, it just goes together quickly. So there's nothing interesting about it. It just takes the fascination out of it for me. Like I had seen when I had looked at some of the old belts when I was watching old videos, I would notice that when they strapped the belts, it would come through the holes. Whereas today, there's no holes, so it doesn't go through. So that's why adding Velcro takes the fun out of it for me. because there is no leaving to the imagination. It's self-explanatory. That's why it takes the fun away from it for me. However, I do have to say the designs on the front part of the belt says the name of the belt. They're just as beautiful as the old ones. But closing the belt is what I always enjoyed watching. So that's why I say it like that. I really don't have anything else to say. So I'm just going to stop right here. Thank you and goodbye.